Hi guys, it's Karen McTavish at Apqs Duluth in northern Minnesota. I'm going to show you how to do a power panto. You're going to double click this quilt path button. It's going to load. It's going to make sure my needle is in the upright position, and we're going to say okay. My needle is up and it's going to move in a diagonal direction, which it did. All right, now our encoders are connected to quilt path, so we know that we can quilt. It's going to open up and we're going to hit pantograph. And now we're going to set our safe area. My quilt is super big. It's 105 by 106. I'm going to push my machine until it hits the white bar, and then I'm going to go up a half an inch. I'm going to go about 4 inches away from the edge of my quilt top. Now I'm going to hit top left. Now we're going to go over to the bottom right, and I know if you look, my quilt safe zone will need to be a little bit bigger than 109. All right, so we're gonna bring this down. So bring this down till it hits, and then I want you to go about an inch away from the bar. You just don't wanna hit the bar. All right, so now Quilt Path has saved my design, or my safe zone. It's telling me it's 111. I'm gonna make sure that I tell Quilt Path that my quilt is 3 inches bigger than what it actually is. So my quilt top is actually 105, and I'm gonna go in here and tell it it is 108. That gives me about 1.5 inches on each side. So Quilt Path, or the Power Panto will quilt off the edge. That's what we want. Now, this is the size of the quilt it thinks it is. I'm actually gonna tell it that it's 110. Even though it's 106. So there's my actual quilt, you know, if it was hanging on the wall. We're gonna make sure we're in Power Panto. We're gonna pattern select, and I know I'm gonna do a wavy line, and I'm gonna tell it that it's approximately 3.33. There it is. I'm gonna kind of play with the vertical, and I'm gonna leave that at 0. I'm gonna make this just slightly bigger. All right, so that is my setting. You could take a picture or you can write this down, but I'm going to save it. So just so you know, when I hit sew in zones, it's gonna ask me, do I wanna save it? And I always say yes. And I hit this button, save to resume, save, and then it'll say, do you wanna override it? I always do. And now it's gonna go into the next the next screen, which is the quilting screen. That yellow dot is representing that. That's the start and that's the stop. That red is my ending. I've already pre-marked, and that's where I'm gonna put the needle. So if you look, there is a purple mark right there, and that's where I'm gonna tell Quilt Path that is my center. And if you watch, it'll move. And it says, did you mark it? And I already did. So it should be ready to go. So if you watch that, it kind of moves slightly. So now I just bring the machine over to what I think is that green circle, and that's where it's gonna start. And then you can hit sew. All right, enjoy. If you have any questions, give me a call at McTavish Quilting, the Apqs Duluth showroom. You can call me or you can email me through my website at mctavishquilting.com.